Welcome back to the first annual Hazy Shade Open, driven by Innova, powered by Steel Group and Schaefer Sports Management. This is the back nine. If you haven't watched the front nine, go back and watch that because there's some good golf that's happening. I am joined again once by Christine Jennings. How we doing?
Hey, good. How are you?
Good. Are you excited to see this back nine?
I am. So things are getting very close with Ashleh, Baumann, and Hannah McBeth. Hannah was ahead by a couple strokes going into this round, and now Ashleh got a couple birdies, catching back up. So.
All right. We are on hole 10 here. It's 475 feet, par 4. We have OB on the left, OB on the right, and a water hazard to the left. Ashleh with a great shot. She might have got over the path there too. The path is in bounds at parts, but it's out of bounds when it gets up there. There's flags. You guys can see it. Mm-hmm. And Christine looks like she's following Ashley's line. Looks pretty good. Let's see what Hannah's got. And
that was a little low. It turned over more than she wanted, but it's going to be safe.
Yeah, it looks like she's a little farther back than you guys. And we have Lauren here. And Lauren looks to have the right height. She's pushing a little farther left. She's going to bring that tree into play on her second shot. So let's see how this goes. So Hannah's a little bit pinched here with that tree, but it doesn't look like it's in her swing. Looks like she turned it over the window. Ooh, it's close.
I know. Yeah, she just released that a little bit low.
What are you throwing here?
My most stable destroyer.
Did you just get flagged?
Yeah, I don't know if that was the flag. The grass also is pretty thick.
Yeah.
So it kind of skipped off the sidewalk and hit that thick grass.
Whatever it was rude. Lauren said, I want nothing to do with that, OB. I'm just going to throw it straight at the basket. Ashley's going with the forehand, trying to play the wind, if I remember correctly. She's trying to throw it right into this hill, and
yeah, it's such a touchy upshot. And honestly, I would prefer to be on the left side off the tee pad so that you're not really throwing at the water. You're throwing at the sidewalk and letting the hyzer happen. But and this is why I don't want to look at the water.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
that is not good. Lauren just smartly taking her four here. That is a great play. And looks like you have a little bit of work to do.
Yeah, I just wanted to pitch that up.
I don't blame you after seeing what happened to Hannah.
Yeah, you can see the little white flags. They're ripping because it was about probably 20, 25 miles at this point. Because we're right next to the water, too.
Yeah, that is a very scary. Yeah, you can see it's only maybe 15, 20 feet. Not even. Yeah. I'd say 15 feet maximum from out of bounds. Hannah, I believe, lost her zone, if I remember correctly. Mm-hmm. But she got it back a couple holes later because somebody was very nice and got it for her. You're welcome.
You're such a nice person.
All right, we had some scores here. All right, Lauren taking the only par and taking strokes on her cards.
I know, she played very clean. She went left, pitched up, not to the basket, pitched up again to the basket, and took her easy par. So, very job well done.
Hole 11 is a crush. It's a 675-foot par 4 with OB on the left, OB on the right. Doesn't really come into play unless you throw some errant shots. Mm-hmm. And again, you have to read the wind because we're just playing in circles out here. The wind is just whipping different. It looks like Lauren had a good shot. Ashleh said, I'll follow that line. Mm-hmm. And let's see. Probably a sidewinder, or did you go destroyer?
That's a sidewinder. I normally go Anheuser over the water to get maximum distance, but because it was windy, I didn't trust that and just wanted to throw a hyzer.
Yeah.
I swung a little wide.
Yeah. You're not out of bounds or anything. You're just going to be in a very awkward position. Hannah said, I'll follow your line. Ooh, that was closer to the road than I thought.
Yeah, when you throw an understable disc too low, it doesn't finish where you want it to, so it always burns out quickly to the right-hand side.
Looks like she got a little kick off that tree, but it did get a little ways up there. Now, this is a farther shot than it looks.
Yeah, I'm just throwing a destroyer to stay away from the road. It was windy, so if I threw a sidewinder and hung it over, that could be bad. So
Yeah, it kind of goes, as you can tell, it kind of goes uphill and downhill and plays a very low ceiling. It's a tricky second shot.
yeah.
Ashley's getting it a little high here. And she's right at the top of the hill. Not a bad play. I think taking a 4 on this hole, you're not going to be mad.
Yeah, it takes 2 really good shots to get to the basket, and with this wind, it just made it really hard for any of us to throw a clean max distance shot.
I think Hannah's probably got about 120 feet to the basket, maybe a little farther than that. But that looked like a good shot. What do you think? 110 out?
Yep.
A little up and down. The wind just said, I'll turn it over, but I think
Yeah.
you're close enough.
Usually the 100-footers are pretty easy lofters, but in the wind, you got to throw them a little harder to get more rotations.
Lauren went something a little more stable there. That was a good up. Ashley's about 100 feet, I would say, downhill. And Hannah's got a little more left. Probably just outside the circle. Yeah, that's just a tricky putt for sure. Ashley, 15 feet, dialed in. So, again, you're taking your time here. Even at 10 footers in the wind, you have to take your time. And that's a good putt. Dave's watching from up top.
Mm-hmm.
Arms crossed. This is his baby. That's a good putt by Lauren. Ooh, and Hannah pulls the old, can I borrow your mini? At least she was nice to give it back.
Right.
All right, so we had 3 pars and 1 bogey. So Ashley's pulling away from Hannah a little bit here with these last 2 holes. All right, what do we have here, Christine? Hole 12.
Hole 12, we have this very low ceiling off the tee. There's left OB that comes in real quick. You want to try to throw as straight and as far as you can, but with the wind and the low ceiling, that makes it really difficult.
She got it turned over there and it just pushed it straight down.
Yeah.
Ashley gave it a little more height. And
Yeah, when you're throwing low, you want to make sure you throw hard enough so that the disc keeps cruising. But when you have headwind, it just makes it really difficult to get that angle control.
yeah, I think you had the right height. And just as soon as you exposed that plate, it just pushed it straight down.
Exactly. And I think a lot of us just got really nervous with that left hand OB because normally I could throw a really big anhyzer just around the tree that's in front of us, but with the wind, it's just so hard to trust anything.
Actually had a little tricky upshot there with that, both trees straight at it, right onto the root.
Yeah, and the upshot's hard because you have that big tree on the right, you have the fuzzy trees on the left, and you just have to throw straight at it. When you have about 200 feet left, that's not an easy shot.
No.
It's so touchy throwing into the headwind.
Yeah, the trees on the left, you might be able to get a stance. Like, she'll be able to get a stance there, but it's going to be tricky. Because they're just going to be all over your back, and it's going to make things harder. Ooh, a little tree love there.
Almost went in the basket. It was a bad shot. It would have kept going if the tree didn't kick me back.
The course giveth and the course taketh away.
This is true.
Ashley with a good bid there, just high. Lauren with looks to be about 20 feet here. Just high.
She's been all over the basket.
She is. She has a good stroke. See, Hannah's in the bush, but I think she can get the swing. Yep.
Yep. No problem.
So, there's a good par for Hannah. Oh, I don't know what happened there, Lauren. We'll just move past that. Ashley's going to take her 4.
There you go.
And Lauren's going to take a 5, and Christine is going to tap in her 5.
This next hole
Yeah.
is really fun.
Yeah, it is a good hole.
Yeah.
So the next hole is 820 feet. It's a par 5. and it actually uses part of the old course that we don't play anymore. And we eliminated 2 holes to play this old hole to a new basket. So everything on your right of the path is inbounds, but everything on the right is OB. And you just want to kind of throw straight off the tee like you did there. And it's pushing a little left. I didn't even know there was OB left.
Yeah, very far left. You're a lefty,
I know.
so you hyzer away from the OB. So you probably didn't worry about it.
Ashley's going with an anhyzer. That looks perfect.
Yeah, you're just really trying to get as much distance as you can off the tee pad. There is a little bit of a corner that you have to get around. So if we can get to the edge of that corner there, it's going to give us the best look to move up the fairway.
All right. And we got Hannah up here first. She should be looking straight down the hallway, correct? Or
Yeah.
just-
No,
yeah.
that's pretty straight.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get
That
keep
is
it in
a
the middle.
great shot. Looks like she tested the trees a little bit, but got through them all.
Yeah, so you guys can see the shelter all the way in the back. The basket's to the right of the shelter. So we're just working our way up this fairway. It's, what do you say, like almost 200 feet wide?
Where the landing zone is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That left side fairway.
It's maybe 200 feet wide, but it's only 50 feet width-wise.
Yeah.
So it is a tight little island. Ashley looks to be in a pretty good spot here. Now the walking path, like I said, is not out of bounds on this hole. That.
Just throwing a big flex to get as much distance.
Ooh, did it flex out?
Yeah.
Okay, is it safe?
Should be good.
Okay, all right. Where are we going here?
I think I have a sidewinder. This tree was actually very much in front of me, so I had to throw a really low turnover to get as much distance as I could.
Yeah, it was a great shot. It's gonna be, looks to be open from where you're at.
Mm-hmm.
We got Lauren here. She's just kind of, I'm guessing, pitching up to before. Yeah, that looks to be in a pretty good spot.
Mm-hmm. And we're all at this point about 300 feet away from the basket, and that's usually our max distance. So with the wind and the conditions, we're all just pitching up to the corner.
Yeah, Hannah with a good shot right to the corner. And you're pitching up, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
Mid-range?
Yeah. I was just about 280 or so, and
Nice.
I just didn't feel comfortable with the angles there.
I don't blame you. Ashley.
Ashley is going for it. And she threw a smash,
Oh.
and she is safe.
Oh.
Yeah. She hung on to that left corner there
The
of
old-
the island.
The old grabby grass got her. Kept her safe.
Yeah, I think Lauren was trying to throw a flex forehand around the tree onto the island, but she just threw a little low and the wind pushed it down.
Hannah scared the basket there. And Lauren's pitching up next to it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I believe. What is this disc?
It's an ABR X3.
Okay.
I really only throw it when it's super windy, and it was super windy.
Came out wobbly and boom. That is a birdie. You can't even, you're just laughing.
I wasn't trying to put it in. I was just trying to get it as close to the basket as possible.
Wow.
Sometimes they just go in.
You know, it was a good shot. Whether you were trying to do it or not, it was going to be close to the basket. Replay. Just kind of dying out. Yeah, you'd have been like 5 feet if the basket wouldn't have gotten away.
Yeah.
That darn basket. We got Lauren here.
And you can see her shirt was really rippling. Just the wind, I think, was getting worse as the day went on.
Oh yeah, that is for sure. Oh, that's a good putt for Hannah.
Yeah,
She's gonna
she's
save her par.
Such a good putter.
And that's Ashley's par. So overall, I think you guys played that hole pretty well. It's a fun hole, but it can definitely bite you, as Lauren found out. That OB
Yeah.
does come into play in a lot of places.
Yeah, you really just want to chip your way up the fairway, safe distance, and take your par.
All right, we are on hole 14. This is 650 feet, par 4. OB on the left, OB on the right. And you just want to kind of either get above the ditch or behind the ditch. The ditch can play as a very obstacle.
Yeah, with
Of
your
that
footing and
Because it's going to take you guys at least two good
Yeah,
throws.
two good throws to get to the basket for sure.
So it looks like everybody's kind of just laying up before the ditch, not really testing it.
Yeah, the placement with all of these OBs are, I would say, in pretty good places because generally you don't have to think about anything. You're in the wide open. You can just rip as far as you want. But when the OBs come into play, you start thinking about your angles and you throw less risky and you have to throw more controlled. And so when you throw controlled shots, you end up taking distance off of your shots.
Correct.
So.
Well, and if you go for the big one and go out of bounds early, and then you're just really biting yourself.
Exactly.
So we got Hannah here. She is going. Oh, that looks like it turned over.
So when we practiced, I don't think that we saw the OB that gets pinched up off the corner of that grass. And so she threw not knowing there was OB, and then we walked over there and realized that there was an OB line.
Oh, that's a shame. Lauren, a little low. John kind of lost it. Looks like it landed just on top of that hill. And you are just going Anheuser, and that looks really good.
Yeah, that was probably one of the best throws I had all day. That turned over perfectly. I threw it onto the perfect height, and it stalled out just in time.
Slow-mo, reach back, pull. See the disc catch an angle, ride in the wind. Just everything you were going for. And a little stability at the end to get some more distance. That's a great shot.
I was happy with that.
We got Ashley here. She's kind of on the side of the hill, so it's going to be a little awkward.
I don't think Ashley does a run-up in any scenario other than off the tee pad.
Really?
So she throws like standstill 300, 350 feet. No
That's
big
insane.
deal. Yeah, so usually these scenarios don't bother her because she stands still anyways.
We're going with the Heiser here. Ooh. See how that one plays. Hannah's got to be a little frustrated right now.
Yeah, and I think at this point she's starting to realize that Ashley and her have switched spots.
Yeah. So Ashley's got a birdie look here, I believe. Ooh, just a little short. Good bid though. Got Lauren here. Looks to be about circle's edge, giving it the height, and just drops. We got Hannah here from probably circle's edge as well.
Oh, such a good bid.
That's one of those that felt good the entire way. It just didn't go in. Ooh, okay. Little 10-footer on this hole. That's a good birdie.
Yeah, and I think that Ashley was starting to catch up right before I had that throw in. So that throw in and this birdie definitely helped me.
Making moves, fending them off. So that would be Christine with the 3, Ashley with the 4, Lauren with the 5, and Hannah with the 6. We got a small straight here, folks. It's not what we're looking for, but it's what we'll take. So then we're going to hole 15. What can you tell me about hole 15, Christine?
Oh, hole 15. It's straight down the tunnel, but anything to the right side of the tree line that you see is water. So to throw a straight shot and low ceiling, I didn't do that.
I can see that. There's actually OB on the left, too, in that parking lot.
Yeah, I'm usually just try to throw a fairway dead straight, but I didn't manipulate the angle enough.
Ashley looks like she turned that over.
Yeah, the tree saved her.
Yeah. That was a crush. We got Lauren. She just left it a little low. She's frustrated. Still smile on her face.
I feel like ideally if you could throw a hyzer into the middle, that would be great. But the way the trees are placed, you can't really throw a hyzer without killing distance off of your drive. So you naturally have to throw like a turnover or a flex shot down the pipe. And it makes it so scary because if you turn it over too much, you're going straight into the water.
Lauren looks like she got a little flex on. What a shot.
Yeah, she got a lot of distance on it.
All right, you got an awkward stance here. You just going to play this for par, or are you going for it?
I'm playing it for par. I'm just trying to pitch up. That's super stable destroyer. So I could throw it at the water and have it come back, but I didn't give it enough height.
Looks like you guys all have some pretty awkward stances. Ashley going with the turnover. That could be scary.
The disc just carries.
What a shot. These standstills. She's good at them. All right. Hannah was in perfect position.
Yeah, she throws that nicely right up the middle.
Yeah, that's 2 good shots for Hannah on this hole. What are you going over the water?
Yeah, trying to go over the water, give it the height, and didn't trust the width.
Yeah, that's scary with those branches too. But you're safe. Lauren's going off your line, maybe a little out farther.
Yeah, and she throws it really well.
And that is a good shot. So you got probably 60 feet, 70 feet here.
Yeah. And it just holds on to the
Oh.
putter a little bit too much. Gets that nose angle down.
Hannah hit it. Just kind of didn't throw it, I guess.
Yeah. I keep saying this, but it was really the wind.
I believe it.
Any routine approach that you know how to throw kind of just goes out the window because you don't trust, the putters get so finicky in the wind if you don't throw them right.
It's a mental war out there with your mind in the wind for sure.
Yeah.
That's a good up right there. Probably giving it a soft bid. Don't want to get too crazy. We got Lauren here. This is a par.
She's
I
been getting
believe
up
so.
there very clean.
Oh, she just kind of
Good commitment, though.
Yes, left it a little high. You're on the other side of the tree. And just a little left on there. Just a little too much hyzer. Lauren's going to take her 5. And is going to tap in her 5. You're going to tap into your 6.
Yeah.
Ashley's going to tap in her 4. So she's taking 2 strokes on you.
Yeah. I wasn't happy about that.
Oh, man. You still got 4 strokes with 3 to play. Can't be too mad about that.
But I feel like 16 and 17 are pretty tricky. So.
Yeah, you can definitely get in some trouble. All right. Hole 16, 485 feet. We're going back the opposite way we just threw. Now the water's on your right and there's OB on your left. Just want to kind of throw it to where that tree is in the middle and just be left or right of the tree. And
Yeah.
it looks like Ashley threw a good shot.
It was pretty close
Oh, what?
to the OB line. Yeah, I didn't remember if she had gone OB or not. So this is the same thing. The OBs are placed so well. Clearly the right side's natural OB, but they place that left side OB.
It is
So you
close.
have to throw so straight. And to throw a straight shot, essentially you have to throw a hyzer flip.
Yeah.
Like that's how you throw a straight shot. Or you're throwing a stable flex that you're really good at controlling. So the angle manipulation is just really difficult, really challenging.
Lauren threw a great shot when she turned that over. Looked like she'd be in a good spot. Hannah looked like she was just kind of pitching up. Spotter's giving her the safe.
Yeah, shout out to the spotters. Thanks everybody for helping and volunteering. It made things very smooth.
Yeah, we really didn't have any too much backups. And that looks to be right on the tree, I think.
I also think, yeah.
So we got Hannah here. This is where it gets scary. This approach is very, ooh.
Yeah, she pulls that a little straight.
Yeah, I think it's off to the right. I think John missed it.
It ended up going in the water,
Oh.
I believe. It just didn't quite come back enough.
And that water is pretty close to the basket because it's kind of like a hill and the basket's on the side of a hill. So if you hit on the right side, you have a 20 foot, but it's a straight death putt.
Right.
So Ashley is going around the outside.
And forehand's really scary
that's a
shot to be throwing on this hole, but that's her bread and butter. She's so good at throwing forehand approaches,
That's a
so
great shot.
she trusted it.
And Lauren just left it a little short there. Quickly gets up and throws. We'll see the green here in a second. See, it is on a very sloped hill. Christine, this is probably what, 50 feet, 40 feet?
I would say 40, yeah, right around there.
Ooh, it's good.
It was uphill though, so I wanted to give it a go.
Well, at least she got it back.
So she threw a provisional that we missed. He didn't put this in here, but she threw a provisional from the other side of the water. We ended up giving it to her because she did touch. Her disc was actually floating right against the edge. So she
Gotcha.
touched and fell in. So she ended up just playing it from there.
Player always gets the benefit.
Yep.
That's a good bit. That is so uphill. Like, you can't give it enough height. And if you do, it's just the wind might throw you back into the water. Right. That is a great hole by Ashleh right there. She played that perfectly, getting her birdie. She went OB on the tee.
Oh, so yeah, that was a good scramble for her.
So yeah, so that was a great scramble. 3 shots, but she's taking a 4. So even with her, you got a par 2. But she's still got strokes in the other 2. So we're going 2 left, and you're up 4. And she's kind of everybody's in no man land right now. So let's see what we got going on here. Hole 17, the island hole.
Yeah, 275 feet. It's not our maximum distance, but we still have to throw pretty hard. When you have to throw hard, the control becomes a little bit difficult. But for Ashleh, I believe she threw a buzz because she throws so far. I'm like, are you kidding me?
She gave it the thumbs up, so I think she likes it.
Yeah. Because of the wind, I'm just going Hazy Destroyer.
Look, that just dropped.
Yeah, the wind dropped it. Fortunately, I stayed inbounds, but I would like to have been closer to the basket. There is a drop off from where I am when you're putting. We'll see when we get up to the green.
A little turned over.
She made it.
She did. All right. We got Hannah up. And straight flip up. She doesn't like it. Just a little short.
Should I tee again?
So to the drop zone she goes. This is a scary drop zone. Because the hay bales are probably, I'm going to say 30 feet behind the basket. But directly behind, like you were saying, is a drop off.
Right.
Any kind of wind lifts that, she could be out of bounds again. So I think you just pitched up there.
Yeah, I looked at the scores and I knew even if, because Ashley's closer to the basket, she would probably take her birdie. But I had a few strokes to give, so I just decided to pitch up and not mess with it.
And she got her birdie.
Yep, just let her have it and walk away.
All right. Then we got Hannah tapping in her 4. And Lauren's tapping in her 3.
I believe so.
I believe so.
Yeah, because she was up against the barn and pitched up.
She's a little sketchy with these.
There's no stories on the scorecard.
And you are tapping in your 3. All right. Well, Ashleh clawed one back on you there to get within 3 going into the last hole, which is kind of a doozy of a hole.
Right.
So you want to describe hole 8? Oh, knucks it up. You want to describe hole 18's par 4?
Yep.
470 feet.
470 feet, pretty straight off the tee, but then it starts curving a little bit to the left. Super far left, there is pond to the left of those trees. Right path is OB. It's actually before the path, so it cuts in pretty tight. And then the trees surrounding the green, there is OB around that as well once we start getting closer that direction. So we're all just trying to keep it in the middle, make as much distance as we can.
Looks to be about the same spot. All right, we got Lauren up. So what's going through your mind right now?
I'm chill. I'm like, I have 3 strokes as long as you can get off the tee, which I did. So that's checked off. Throw an approach and don't do anything crazy. Even if she gets if she's able to get a 3, that's great. You know, she can still take a stroke and exactly, I'll be fine. So
looks to be a good shot by Hannah. She really does lean on this forehand a lot.
She's so good at it though.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Looks to be about circle's edge, and you're going forehand here.
Yep, just want to throw a high Hazy Destroyer, let it crash in. The backhand kind of sketched me out because of the trees. I like to throw a big Hazy that way too.
Ooh.
I really threw it.
You sauced it, and there's a little hill there, right? All right, let's see what happens. Lauren, she's riding the Hazy. I like this.
Yeah, she threw that perfect. And I was scared to hit the tree, so I didn't do that. But that was well executed by her.
Was Hannah safe?
Yeah, she was.
All right.
Living on the edge.
It's like she went with the lunar there, just a little straight. Ashley's got a 20-footer with a little awkward stance there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and just trickles out. That's from about the same spot.
Trying to get a good
Oh
finish.
man, it just doesn't like putts from right there. Oh, we got a Todd sighting. Look how intensely he's watching.
I know. So I did go OB.
Oh no.
And I have about 20 feet uphill to the basket.
Left to short. Good layup. Good layup.
Thanks. I wanted to make it, but I counted the strokes real quick. And even if I didn't make it, it was fine. So I think my body was just like, you don't need to make it.
And Lauren is ending on a good note, getting the only birdie on the card. Taking strokes.
What a great hole for her. Yeah.
It's a good way to end. Hannah's just tapping out her par. Ashley's tapping out her. Ooh,
Yeah.
double tap out. You guys getting fancy.
She's so much fun.
So what did you think of the new Arthur O design?
The course is long, but I think that's fine because the approaches aren't very basic. You know, it's not just like, oh, I'm going to throw the same hyzer approach every time. It has a lot of tricky angles, and it's really fun, so I really enjoy it.
Nice. Well, you are the Hazy Shade, first annual Hazy Shade Open, and no one can ever take that from you. So we had Christine at 1 down, finishing at 1 down, Ashley at +1, Hannah at +8, and Lauren at +28. We got Todd with the picture with you as the champions.
Oh.
So what's next for Christine Jennings?
We're going to Madison, Wisconsin for U.S. Women's in late June, so
All right,
getting prepped for that.
Look at you guys. You guys look like you had a blast in the car today, and it was fun to follow along.
Yeah, for sure.
I want to give a big shout out to John Schwan coming out and filming the women's and the men's. This is the women's coverage we're putting out first. Look forward to the men's coming out soon. But as always, like and subscribe to John Schwan. He's our Dayton guy. Take care of him. Thanks, guys.
See ya.